Incoming transmission.
Hello, this is Matt and McKinley from History Dispatches.
We are the father-son duo bringing you the weird, the wild, the wacky, and the craziest tales from across time.
From the Ice Bowl
to the Great Heathen Army.
And the head of Oliver Cromwell.
The same head they kept on a pike for 3 years?
Yep, all here on History Dispatches.
New episodes every weekday.
Find out more at historydispatches.com or wherever you get your podcast app.
Welcome to Fun Facts Daily, your source for just the good stuff. Monday through Friday, we're bringing fun facts and news you can use, all carefully curated to uplift and inform. So give yourself a break, relax, and learn something awesome in just a few minutes every day. Hi everyone, I'm Kyle Wood, and today we're talking about one of American history's most fascinating figures, Benjamin Franklin, the inventor, statesman, writer, printer, scientist, and diplomat. But before we dive into the facts of this incredible polymath, let's warm up our brains with a little game to see if you can tell fact from fiction. When we talk about figures from history, there's a lot that gets repeated that may not be entirely correct. That's why it's important to think critically about everything you see, read, or hear. When you think about Benjamin Franklin, what's one of the first images that comes to mind? For many, it's the picture of him flying a kite in a raining thunderstorm, a key tied to the string, lightning flashing dramatically overhead. The story goes that a lightning bolt struck the kite, traveling down the string to the key. It gave Franklin a shock, leading him to discover electricity. It's a famous, almost foundational story of American science lore. But did it really happen that way? Is the story of Franklin, the kite, the key, and the lightning strike fact or a fallacy? I'll reveal the truth at the end of this episode. Now for our word of the day. Today's word is air bath. Okay, technically I guess it's 2 words. But an air bath refers to the practice of exposing the body to the air, typically in private, and often for perceived health benefits rather than cleanliness, like a water bath. Why is this the word of the day? Well, our subject, Benjamin Franklin, was famously known for taking daily air baths. According to his writings and accounts from his time, Franklin would start his mornings as a nudie-kazootie, sitting in his room near an open window for 30 minutes to an hour, regardless of the weather, often reading or writing during this time. He had a strong belief that exposure to fresh air was vital to good health and could help ward off illnesses like the common cold, which he thought might be caused by stale, confined air within stuffy rooms. While his specific theory about how colds were transmitted wasn't quite right, we now know they're caused by viruses, his intuition about the benefits of fresh air and good ventilation was remarkably prescient. In an era when windows were often kept tightly shut, Franklin recognized the importance of circulating air for general well-being. So, while his personal habit of sitting nude by the window was certainly peculiar, his underlying emphasis on avoiding stagnant air and embracing ventilation proved to be a very sound principle for healthier living environments. And of course, taking time for quiet reflection, reading, and writing was not just good for his physical health, but also his mental well-being. Now for today's High Five, our top 5 fun facts about Benjamin Franklin. Number 1, Franklin invented practical items we still benefit from today, but he didn't patent them. Beyond his famous electrical experiments, Franklin was a prolific inventor driven by a desire to improve everyday life, creating things like bifocals, the Franklin stove, and the lightning rod. As he aged, Franklin found switching between glasses for reading and distance to be annoying, so he devised bifocals by cutting the lenses of 2 pairs of spectacles and putting half of each lens in a single frame. His Franklin stove was a metal-lined fireplace that provided more heat with less smoke and used less fuel than traditional open fireplaces. Perhaps most famously, his experiments with electricity led to the invention of the lightning rod, protecting buildings from fires caused by lightning strikes. Interestingly, Franklin rarely patented his inventions, believing they should be shared freely for the public good. So I guess he was also an innovator in what we would call open source technology. And number 2, he was America's first Postmaster General and revolutionized the postal service. Benjamin Franklin played a crucial role in developing the colonial postal system, making it more efficient and reliable. Appointed Joint Deputy Postmaster General for the British colonies in 1753, Franklin undertook extensive tours to inspect post offices, reorganizing the service's accounting system, and establishing new, shorter, and faster postal routes, including introducing night travel for riders to speed up mail delivery between major cities like Philadelphia and New York. His improvements actually made the colonial post office profitable for the first time. Later, in 1775, the Continental Congress appointed him as the Postmaster General of what would become the United States Post Office. Number 3, Franklin was a diplomatic superstar who convinced France to back America. His skill as a diplomat was absolutely crucial to the success of the American Revolution, particularly in securing the alliance with France. Sent to Paris in 1776, Franklin charmed French society with his wit, intellect, and carefully crafted image as a rustic American philosopher. Despite representing a fledgling nation with uncertain prospects, he masterfully navigated complex European politics. His diplomacy was instrumental in negotiating the 1778 Treaty of Alliance with France, which provided essential military and financial support to the American cause. He later helped negotiate the 1783 Treaty of Paris, formally ending the Revolutionary War. Number 4, he established many civic institutions we still have today. Franklin was deeply committed to civic improvement and founded or helped establish numerous organizations in Philadelphia, many of which endure. Believing in the power of community and shared knowledge, Franklin established the Junto, a club for mutual improvement. This led to the creation of the Library Company of Philadelphia in 1731, America's first subscription library. He also played key roles in founding the American Philosophical Society, the University of Pennsylvania, then the Academy of Philadelphia, and organized Philadelphia's first volunteer fire department, the Union Fire Company, significantly improving fire safety in the city. And our 5th and final fun fact, Benjamin Franklin strove for moral perfection through a list of 13 virtues. As a young man, Franklin embarked on a self-improvement project identifying 13 virtues he aimed to master and tracked his progress daily. His list included virtues like temperance, silence, order, resolution, frugality, industry, sincerity, justice, moderation, cleanliness, tranquility, chastity, and humility. He created a small book where he assigned a page for each virtue and made a chart marking down his faults each day. He focused on mastering one virtue per week, cycling through the list 4 times a year. While he admitted he never achieved perfection, he believed the attempt made him a better and happier man. Now for some news you can use. Benjamin Franklin was famously industrious and methodical. Want to inject some Franklin-esque productivity into your life? Try adopting his daily schedule structure. Franklin outlined his typical schedule in his autobiography. He'd wake up early at 5 a.m., ask himself, "What good shall I do this day?" Then allocate specific blocks for work, reading, meals, and reflection, and end the day by asking, "What good have I done today?" While you don't have to follow the exact timings, the principle is powerful. By intentionally planning your day, allocating time not just to work, but also personal growth, like reading or learning and reflection, you can increase your focus and sense of accomplishment. Even just starting and ending your day with those reflective questions, focusing on purpose and reviewing your actions, can bring greater intention and productivity to your routine. It's about structuring your time purposely, a technique that's as effective now as it was in the 18th century. Now for our big reveal. Remember earlier, I asked about that famous image, Ben Franklin flying a kite in a thunderstorm with a key, getting zapped by lightning and discovering electricity. Is that story fact or fiction? I would say that story is true-ish. It's mostly rooted in fact, but with some very important clarifications. Benjamin Franklin did propose and likely conduct a kite experiment in 1752 to investigate the nature of lightning, but the popular image gets some key details wrong and dangerously simplifies things. First, Benjamin Franklin did not discover electricity. The existence of static electricity and electrical phenomena were already known. His goal was to prove that lightning was a form of electrical discharge. Second, it's highly unlikely he flew the kite during the peak of a thunderstorm. If lightning had actually struck the kite directly, the massive electrical charge would have been very dangerous. Instead, he probably flew the kite just as the storm was approaching, allowing the wet hemp string to conduct ambient electrical charge from the storm clouds down to the key. He described an experiment like this, proposing it, though not explicitly stating he performed it himself in his initial writings. He suggested one stand inside a doorway or shelter to stay dry and avoid electrocution. The idea was to bring his knuckle close to the key. If sparks jumped, it would demonstrate the electrical nature of the clouds overhead. Joseph Priestley, a contemporary scientist and friend, provided a detailed account in 1767, stating Franklin performed the experiment in June 1752, successfully drawing sparks from the key and even charging a Leyden jar, an early capacitor. So while the core idea is true, Franklin did talk about experiments with a kite and a key to test the hypothesis that lightning was electricity. The dramatic image of him standing in a field during a full-blown lightning storm is likely an exaggeration. Now, I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about Benjamin Franklin with me, and be sure to tune in tomorrow for even more fun facts. Fun Facts Daily is an Airwave Media podcast. It was written, recorded, mixed, and edited by me, Kyle Wood. Thanks for sharing a part of your day with me. Be sure to follow Fun Facts Daily on your favorite podcast app so you can keep the good stuff coming your way every day. And if you like the show, please do me a favor and leave a kind rating, review, or just tell your friends about it.